Welcome to another episode of the Kat Mak Talk Show, where I have Elif Persinger on the show. I am so honored and happy to have you on. You are a business professor, and I love your titles. They're so cool. And a real wellness professor, which I know you're going to talk about in a little while, what your journey is and where you're at and what you've been doing. And I was reading your bio. I was reading your story because you're officially a best-selling author. Well done to you, the empowered edition, and kudos to you for putting your pen to paper. Because a lot of women, a lot of people don't do it, and people think that becoming an established author is something that everybody does. No, they don't. And I know because I've done it myself through the book, She Said Yes to Herself, that it takes a lot of guts and a lot of crying and a lot of soul searching and all the stuff that comes with writing your story. So, Elif, over to you. Tell me a little bit about you. What is it you're doing? And what inspired you to put your pen to paper and now become a best-selling author? So what inspired you to write in the book?
Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm honored as well. My name is Elif Persinger. I'm a mom of 3 beautiful children. They're 19, 17, and 11.
You got your hands full.
I do have my hands full. I'm also a full professor of marketing and international business. So I teach, I do research. Then I am also a wellness entrepreneur. And within that context, I am real wellness professor. And I will talk about that later more. I am Turkish. I have been living in the United States for the last 30 years though. So this is home.
Definitely would be home.
Yes, 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 it is. And this opportunity came to me because I had just launched my real wellness professor business.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was asked whether I would like to share my story, I said yes, even though it is something that I had not thought of before. And it has been a journey. Like you said, it is not easy to share your story always. You go through a lot of emotions, a lot of memories, and you have to decide which parts of your story you want to share meaningfully. Because after all, through our stories, we become visible. That's how we make impact on other people.
I love that you said that.
Yes. So the idea is to inspire others by sharing what we have been through and how we have come back from all that. And if I can be a source of strength, a source of inspiration for one more woman in this world through my story, that means I've accomplished my goal. So that was my motivation in sharing my story. But I have to admit, it has also been a personal development journey, more so than I had expected.
You talked about visibility and putting your pen to paper and getting out there and being vulnerable is exactly how you make a change. Because you just mentioned it. I'd like you to expand on that. You mentioned that by writing your story and being vulnerable, it is a catalyst to change. So if there's one person out there that you can impact, I love that you said that, because being visible is the only way of doing that. Otherwise, do you know what? We're the world's best kept secret.
That's true. That's true. And you know what? Because of that, we do not realize how much we have done and how much we're doing and how much we have to offer to the world. It is mind boggling that we live our lives and we forget to share it with others a lot of times, even with people who are close to us. I'm sure there'll be people who will read my story, from my friends, family, etc., and will say, "Hey, I didn't know that." And I think it's not very rare. I think it's true for most of the authors that were featured in the book. I've heard that before, and I'm totally expecting it too.
Yeah, well, without a doubt, you're going to get people reaching out to you that have never reached out to you before. And that's the beauty of putting yourself in a positive position, because I believe it's a positive position. So kudos to you and well done to you. I'm actually going to quote you. And this is what stood out to me, because when I read your story, I will always take a little snippet and go, oh, that captured me. So throughout your whole chapter, the thing that stood out consistently was, you are strong, you are strong, you are strong, you are strong, you are strong. And you wrote, my pain was minimized because it didn't disrupt my output. I'd like you to talk more about that. My pain was minimized because it didn't disrupt my output. You left a marriage that asked me to disappear in order to survive it. And I'm like, whew, wow.
Was probably one of the hardest things I have gone through. And I have to say, I'm not bitter about my ex-husband. He's a good guy. He's a good father. And I am grateful that we have three beautiful children. However, I was very alone during that marriage. Yes. And all my life, as long as I can remember, I've been praised for being so well behaved, so strong, doing what is necessary, what needs to be done, so reliable, all those good stuff. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to do all that. But you get tired. You get tired.
Alone
And
with the noise.
And because I was able to deliver, taking care of the kids, going to work, advancing in my career, I have a beautiful house. I am quite independent. I have financial strength.
Everything looked
Yeah,
perfect, right?
perfect from outside, but nobody considered the cost of those. And even when I asked for help explicitly, they did not really understand. Maybe they didn't know how to give it to me. I don't know. But I did ask for it, and it always came at their own terms,
So,
right?
Elif, I'm going to ask you, because I've been through your story resonates with me. I'm like, I'm reading my life in a nutshell,
My
right?
goodness.
Culturally, we're very similar as well. And I'm asking you this because I'm asking myself this. When you asked for help and you said that they didn't know, I didn't know myself. Did you know yourself as well?
There were times that I did not. And you know what? Recently, I have come across this term called life hypnosis. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes.
Yes. And looking back, I was in a life hypnosis. I was doing what had to be done at the expense of myself and didn't stop to think how it is going to cost me later on. It is very difficult to go through things like that. And looking back, of course, we can say a lot of things. Oh, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. But at the time, given the circumstances, I think we all do our best.
Yes,
And
absolutely. So
yeah,
on that note, talking about doing your best, because you're still doing your best, and time is interesting because you just said we can look back, but what is it going to do? You've already done all the stuff, and you're continuously doing this stuff to support yourself, your life, your wellness, your children, your future. All we really have is the 14 minutes that we've been on this podcast. Really, that's all we have, because we don't know what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes. So I have a question for you, and it's just a retrospective one. What is your greatest achievement thus far? And yes, I know our children are amazing. However, what would be one of your greatest life journey achievements that you can say, you know what, damn it, I'm so proud of myself?
Um, yes, my children's always at the top,
Always,
but
we
I'm
know that.
proud of myself, because I did not give up. I kept learning, developing myself, trying my best. And even when I had no energy to continue, I never thought of, okay, this is it. I don't care what's going to happen at this point and leave everything at there. No, no, that's not how I operate. I did get to a point where I couldn't push through anymore. Especially, I'm 55 now, and as menopause approached, it became even more difficult.
There is that word, menopause, the MMM word. So you talked about your strength. You talked about dying on the inside and you didn't feel well. And you talk in your chapter about the pain and the no energy and the doing everything for everybody else. And yes, perimenopause, there's that word because I'm going through it as well. How did you find strength? What did you do that you can share with other women out there that are perhaps feeling the same way? You know, I think the word perfection needs to leave the vocabulary because it creates this thing which really is not real. What would you say to women out there that are feeling the same way, in the box, doing all the right thing? And I'm not an advocate for women out there to say, you know what, if Kat Mak and Elif can do it and walk out of their marriage because it was not XYZ, and my ex-husband is a great guy as well. That's not what I'm saying. What inspiration can you give them and say, you know what, this is what I'm doing now, and this is how I got out of the funk. I got out of this and I feel good now.
Few things. First of all, walking out of the marriage was the only way to reset things for me at that time. And also show my children that a relationship, a marriage should be something different than that. This is not it. I wanted them to always have love and respect for their father, have a relationship with them and all that. But it was going to be very difficult to have a positive light in doing all that if we stayed married. So I think we did the same. I mean, we did the right thing for ourselves, but also for our children. That's one. And once I was out of the marriage, there was a period of a high where I felt like I was just more free to take care of maybe myself as well as my children. But in fact, that high was temporary because all the responsibilities were still there. I was doing still what I was doing, and there was no time, no energy left to take care of myself. And I know everybody says, oh, you gotta eat right. And I was eating right. I always cooked and I cooked healthy and all that. Oh, you gotta exercise. Yes. And I was moving, as much as I can. But then I had an ankle issue that limited my mobility. So, you gotta sleep well. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You know what? When you are drained, when you're exhausted to the level that I was. All of those good suggestions still, but are not practical at all. So my turning point came when I found a solution in the form of cellular nutrition and gut brain axis support.
Mhm.
And once I gave my body the micronutrients that it needed, the change was very fast. I started sleeping so much better. In itself, it brings the energy up. I had very strong antioxidant support that perked me up. So all of a sudden, by restoring my energy, life opened up. at a different level. I did not have to drag through the day. I used to fall asleep at the parking lot where I dropped off.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I Yeah, imagine I wake up, I take care of my kids, send them to school, and one of them still is in middle school. I'm dropping her off every morning. And in the mornings at the drop off, many mornings, I couldn't come back home before taking a nap in the car. Or
Wow.
I tried, I was worried that I was gonna crash somewhere and I was like, come on, you can't do I was constantly, trying to wake myself up. That's how tired my body was. And I came back from that. And
So
once
you
I
you
came
you helped your insides out.
absolutely. Absolutely, from inside out. You do not perform at the high level that I did
You are.
and take care of yourself to the point where you're always, made up, all the energy, all the good. No, 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 no. I had to do something, and it came to me in the form of cellular nutrition. And I'm grateful because look what happened. After I gained my energy, I wrote that book. Yes, and that real wellness professor name? Hey, well, I am a professor, right?
And
I'm
you are,
been
you
teaching.
definitely are. I love that you say you're the real wellness professor. You're definitely a professor. And
I am a professor. I found wellness that works for me and that would work for people like me who are high achievers, high performance, busy. They have to recover. They have to take care of themselves while performing all those duties that they're performing at the same time. And that real part is I'm real. That's one. But
I love
what I
that you
do
say
is
that.
real wellness. Real wellness has to fit in your life. Okay. I cannot go to the gym for 2 hours a day. That is absolutely unrealistic for me.
I'm not a, look, I'm just going
I
to say it
cannot
outright.
use a
I'm not a gym
million.
person.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah. I cannot, juice a million ingredients day in, day out. I cannot, I don't know. I mean, there are so many things one can do to keep, the body's healthy and happy. I understand all that. But I needed something not complex, not
Hmm.
time consuming,
Hmm.
and I found it. And it's a very simple system. Through that system, I'm able to bring people back to themselves. One woman was asking on social media today, and I responded to her. She said, how do I feel like myself again?
I
I,
love that she asked that.
yeah,
And she asked you, you're the real deal.
well, and I told her the only way from what I have experienced is to restore your energy. And when you do that, what's inside you starts to flourish, right? So,
Is that how you help your nervous system? Because I know you talk about that in your chapter as well, restoring your nervous system. Because it's something that I've just finished doing a 3-part series on restoring your nervous system because it affects everything. It affects your business, it affects your sales, it affects your life, it affects your relationships.
I do some breathing exercises. I do journaling, and those help.
Mhm.
But again, I have managed to create more stress resilience and emotional stability through cellular nutrition as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
I definitely think you finding what works for you. You can see the obviously the changes because your eyes are so it's from
Thank
the inside out. So I have another quick question for you. If you were
you.
to look in the mirror in your former self, your 20-year-old version of you, what would you say to her right now?
So many things. But I would start by saying, enjoy your life. You have so many good years ahead of you. But also know that your 20s is the time where you lay the foundation for your physical, mental, emotional, and financial wellness. Be brave, go after your dreams. And first of all, dare to dream, okay?
Yes, dare to
Have a
dream.
Yes, dare to dream and go after your dreams. And there will be difficulties, there will be failures along the way. It happens. Just learn from your lessons and try again. That's what I
Absolutely.
would tell her. Yes.
Elif, thank you so much. For all of those out there, please go out and purchase the book, Empower Her, the Powerhouse Edition. Be brave, go out there and do the stuff, fall on your face, work on your inner being, take the
Yeah.
stuff that you need to
Yeah.
do all the journaling, and know that you're going to be okay.
I would also tell her, don't wait to feel ready. Ready doesn't come.
Oh, ready never
Go,
come.
yes. Just go out and do it and figure the next steps while you're doing it. Take the
Yes,
opportunities. Say yes to the opportunities and figure it out on the way.
absolutely. Say yes to yourself. Elif, thank you so much. You have a good morning.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.